Welcome to the YouTube live show.
Oh,
Darren is...
I'm getting off TikTok. I was just on TikTok.
Okay.
I was on TikTok.
Hello, everyone.
I'm always on TikTok. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Welcome to the YouTube live show.
The set looks a little different. Every week, Candace does something different, but I noticed...
But we got something extra special this week.
Yeah, I see that. What do you got on there? You got like LED lights now, right? Oh, red, green. What else we got going? Red, green. Oh, it got...
We are an actual YouTuber now. Yeah.
Let's
we
go to
are
blue.
legitimate.
I like the blue. I like the blue.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Blue
good.
looks good. I like that. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, and Candace has also done some. What's with the cat TV up there? I guess we're going to talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
We're going to talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
So, hey, my name's Darren.
Brandon and Candace is in the back, monitoring, managing all the comments live. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chat's going really well, which is
Yeah,
fantastic. It looks like people were talking about you and your TikToks before we started.
I like TikTok. Yeah, you go. Yeah, we're with the White Hatters, right?
Yes,
we're with the White Hatters, and we travel internationally, talk about internet, social media safety, and digital literacy, right? And we were pretty busy this week, weren't we?
Yeah.
In fact, I think we have some updates, right?
Some updates on places we were and the things we did.
done.
So yeah, you were busy this week.
I was. I was up in Nanaimo. I was presenting at John Barsby Secondary School, sharing our message of online social media safety, digital literacy with students and staff up there. And then that night, we had a bunch of their parents at the parents' presentation. Had a really good time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we did. And you were busy up in Nanaimo too. Nanaimo's becoming like a second home for us, right?
Yes, it is. Cream cheese. What's your thoughts on furries?
Oh.
You know,
depending upon
they do their thing.
Hey, everybody each to their own, right? Yeah. I mean, each to their own, as long as it's consensual and age appropriate and all that kind of stuff.
They do their thing.
But you were up in Nanaimo, right?
Yes, I was at Chase River and Pleasant Valley. Had a lot of fun. And like you said, we're doing a good amount of work up there, and we and I were both there this week, and we had a lot of fun.
We did. We did. Big shout out to the entire school district up in Nanaimo, bringing us in quite a bit. Hey, I'm just looking at your laptop cover there. Go back to where you're, look at that. Hey, look at the White Hatter thing, Hack 5. TikTok sticker, you got GF. What's that stand for?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free, because you're a celiac, right?
Yes, I am.
And I see that you got a Minecraft horse there. Is that a Minecraft horse on there?
It's Jurgen. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Big shout out.
Rest in peace.
And in fact, you just finished a Minecraft Lego set right there. It's right there.
That was during
last
week's Instagram Live.
Yes.
Pretty much we just hang out and mess around.
I must say, I really do like the LED lights. I think that looks really cool. I mean, it just does something different for the set.
Yeah.
It does.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Whose idea was that? Yours is Candace.
It's Candace's idea.
I know. I mean, I thought...
Candace said in my ear, she says, I thought it was a bad idea and it would be tacky.
You did.
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So it was Candace's idea, but you helped put them up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool. I think it looks really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is for sure.
So I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun with this.
I see you got some smaller like lights around Trollga, yeah, and that kind of little like candle lights and that kind of stuff. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
What else we got going on?
Well, let's talk about some news stories that came up this week that was interesting to us.
Let's do some news.
We got We got a BC plans to launch a free 24/7 mental health support line. For
just before we go into this, and any time during our live show here, if any of you have any questions, don't forget to shoot them our way, right? Like we'll answer questions, especially if it's specific to the topics that we're covering. I mean, that's what would be kind of cool. But this newest one, kind of cool, right? Like, I mean, there's always been resources for high schools, middle schools, even elementary schools for the kids. So this is kind of cool that the BC government is looking to launch resources for students and probably adults, teachers, educators who are in college and university around right now as well.
Really interesting, really great initiative, and we'll see how this turns out.
Especially considering this week was Bell Canada Talk Day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of timely that they're looking to do that. I mean, there's no doubt that talking makes it better. It doesn't matter if you're a youth, a preteen, teen, or an adult, right? There's no doubt that the more resources we have out there for people who are experiencing mental wellness issues, that the research shows us that talking makes it better. So good on the government to make that happen. We'll kind of sit back and see how that develops over time, and we'll report back to everybody who's watching. Good job, BC. Yeah, good job. What else?
We got Moncton High School student explores why teens share nudes. Very interesting to see how
This is kind of close to your heart, right? Because you kind of do a lot of research in this.
Yeah.
area.
Interesting to see how young people are kind of taking the initiative and doing research on their own on a challenge that they may be facing in their daily lives. So really interesting to see this. So I thought I'd just highlight this story and congratulate the individuals.
High school student, right? And I think if I read the report properly as well, she's kind of helping to develop lesson plans for her province to further discuss this issue as a part of the healthy human sexuality curriculum, right? Because I don't think any longer that we can separate what's going on online with what's going on offline. In fact, that's why we call it the on-life world, right?
Yeah.
So, and she's kind of shining a light on this, and I think it's really cool that it's a teen developing training for teens. I mean, mentor, you know, I think it's really cool. Usually it's always us adults, and we adults think we know what's best, when in fact, you know, these teens, they can do a lot of cool stuff, and that's a really good example of it. Yeah. What else?
This is a story Candace added into the show. Amazon Prime, Cat TV.
Is that why on our marquee behind us it says Cat TV?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I see that. I see
why.
that. So what's this all about?
So apparently, Amazon Prime US has a streaming channel that you can put on for your pets to watch TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. As you know, we got a couple of cats, Micro, Mercury, and Nitro. And Nitro, they're twins, by the way. They're Russian blue hairs. Beautiful cats. But Nitro loves to hop up onto the TV stand, and he'll sit there for like half an hour just looking at things that's going on the TV. So what are they? Can you imagine combining that with like smell TV, where you can put like odors of catnip through the air at the same time? Wouldn't that be kind of funky, right? Sniffomat. Who was that? I think that was Willy Wonka, right? Candace, was that Willy Wonka where they had the
Smell-o-vision?
The smell-o-vision and that kind of stuff? Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, it was kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
so smell-o-vision, right? So, but so really, so they got it going in the U.S.?
Apparently, and
maybe we have to turn on our VPN and go have a look and
take
see
a
what's
look.
see what's going on down there. So.
Creatine says, your thoughts on Louder with Chowder? We're very, we like when we watch news. And
I think it's Louder with Crowder.
Oh, Crowder. Sorry.
You said chowder.
Chowder.
I think
sorry.
you eat chowder, right?
Chowder. Sorry.
You must be hungry or something right now. That's funny. Louder with chowder.
We always.
Oh my God.
We always like recommending basically information shows that provide accurate and positive information. So again, if you're getting news and information from less reputable sources.
Is it kind of like the Daily Show? Remember the Daily Show? It was kind of a news with with built-in humor and that kind of stuff into it, kind of like that.
Yeah, but it's mostly
I haven't seen it.
Politically incorrect.
Louder with chowder. That was funny.
Chowder.
That was even Candace is laughing at that one, right? Like, how do you get chowder out of Crowder? Anyways, you must be hungry. What else we got going?
Moving on.
Move on because
News
it embarrassed
reports
them.
coming on in the last week. Have a search warrant. Google wants you to pay. So this is an interesting news story.
Yeah, Candace just went wah wah.
Where apparently in the U.S., if a law enforcement agency approaches a company and gives them a warrant for data, apparently companies can charge for that as a service.
I'll just talk about here in Canada, and we'll talk about the States a little bit later, because I think the same thing would apply in the States. If I'm a police officer and I issue you a warrant from a judge that says you shall provide me that information, you can't come back and say, well, I'm not going to give it to you unless you pay us for it, right? So it's a court order saying that you have to deliver it. You can't basically hold it hostage, right? If you want to charge,
I don't know I don't know what the requirements are down in the States in regards to this, but interesting that this is something. Maybe they still have to do it, but they get reimbursed later.
Yeah, don't you have a price chart that they create?
Yeah, apparently this is the Google's price chart.
Yeah.
For all those legal services, those are the reimbursement amounts that Google will charge for.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I think another reason why they're doing this is to try and scare people away.
Well, some privacy advocates have made some really interesting comments.
Here we go.
Where basically, if you're a company and you have a price tag on the data, it will probably prevent unneeded data warrants.
And if you're a company that's got a good moral compass about you, who used to say, do good, don't you think that maybe if you get a warrant that says you have to provide this information that you should be providing?
I think they still provide the information. They just charge afterwards,
charge
after
me.
the fact.
Go ahead, charge me. Right? You got to give me the data first, and if you don't give me that data when I have a search warrant, then you're going to be done. Right? You're going to be arrested and charged under that. Like, I mean,
I think they still give you afterwards. They give you their.
It's ridiculous. Well, maybe if they didn't make their platform so open, if they were to police it themselves, and maybe stuff like this wouldn't happen, right? Isn't that like, come on, Google, right? I mean, Google's Google, right? And doing what it is they're doing, but isn't this the same company that is kind of photocopying and digitally recording all the books that are out there in violation of clear copyright from these book owners and storing it in a database? Isn't the same company that's doing that?
Those were reports.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. Like, where's your corporate... anyways, this one kind of heats me a little bit because, you know, they say that they want to do everything to help, but they keep putting up barriers. This is a company that's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? Like, billions of dollars that they're bringing in. And you don't think that...
But if the law allows you to charge for these services.
But just because the law says you can do something, does that make it morally right?
Well, then shouldn't you get paid for your time?
Well, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Like, oh my God, right? Like, again, it'll be interesting to see where this... And I noticed that on that chart that they show, that they give some case law from the United States in some cases there and stuff, right? But, oh my God, like Candice just said, get over yourself. Me? Are you saying that to me, Candice, or to Google? Oh, the government. Okay, yeah, thank you. But it's like, come on. Like, anyways, I have an issue with this, as you guys can probably see. It'd be interesting to see what people who are listening to us right now think. Send us some messages. Do you think it's reasonable for a corporate giant like Google to be charging for this, especially when there's a search warrant? Like, I can see.
What if it's a small startup that has no money, no capital, no?
Like, it's like. But still, right? Like it's you know, if I can see it if it's companies that are trying to mine data that they're asking for without a warrant. Like, yeah, you want me to do that without a warrant, then I'm going to charge you. And we know that Google collects this stuff and sells it anyways for a profit, right? But if it's a court order and it's a court telling you that you have to provide this data, like, provide it, right? So, anyways, yeah, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, whatever. I'm a privacy hawk, don't get me wrong, but this is ridiculous. Get over it, Google, as Candice says. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Candice, get out here. Get out here. We need to put a mic in her room so she can say things.
Yeah,
right?
Oh boy.
That's what we need to do. Yeah, maybe that's not such a good idea, right? No.
Oh,
sometimes we do not want to get in her head. Like this week, didn't she do something really funny with a spoon in a blender?
Are we going to share that here on the show?
I think we do. So I'll do it. That way you won't get in trouble. Okay, so here we go. Candice right now is going great. But I can't not share this. It's so funny. Like, she's making herself a smoothie, and she accidentally drops her spoon into the blender. And she doesn't remember doing it.
And then she continues to put
stuff into the blender, not realizing that she just dropped the spoon in. And then kind of making funny noises, or did you turn it on?
I thought it was ice because it was loud, and I thought it was the ice. And then I come over and try it, and I realize there's a spoon in the blender.
Oh my God! So anyway, she just showed me the spoon. It's all chopped up. Apparently, it broke the blender's the case of the blender, right? The plastic of the color.
Well, the chat's loving it.
You know, and people say, okay, boomer. Well, okay, millennial, right? Like, oh my God, right? And didn't she do something else really funny last week too? At the same time, like, she did a couple things, didn't she? Yeah, she's just saying, stop talking about it, stop talking about it. That's what she's saying in my ear. Oh, come on.
On the sake of that.
Didn't she book you to go somewhere, but it wasn't quite right?
No, let's.
Yeah, we were presenting at 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, right?
It wasn't Candice's week. It wasn't her week.
It was her birthday on Tuesday, she's saying, so give me a break.
True, it was her birthday on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was.
So it took her a little, so happy birthday, Candice.
Yeah.
It took a little while to get out of the birthday mind.
Yeah. I'm drinking from this mug. Remember at JDJJ1212? right?
Yes,
sorry, at
they're
Instagram, right?
Instagram.
So there's his Instagram handle right there. He made us this cup as a thank you. So what else we got going on? Oh, this is an interesting one, actually.
EFF.
EFF.
Electronic Freedom Frontier.
Oh.
They initiated, produced a report where they analyzed the Ring doorbell app that goes onto your phone. And they determined on their analysis that there are data trackers like Facebook and other tracking data selling companies tracker data that's inside the app.
What's the data? That they track?
It ranges from like
Can they actually see the video?
no, but more like user information, metadata, enough information that you can realize who someone could be.
Why?
That's a good question.
They're obviously selling it.
Well, they're allowing like people like Facebook and other companies to have access to information about users who use the app for the Ring doorbell security.
You know,
system.
people say we shouldn't go down the slippery slope. I think we're like already in full luge mode, right? We're on our way down this slippery slope, right? Like,
Well,
I mean, really? Like, why would they be doing that? And did they disclose it in their terms of service? That would be interesting.
I mean, most companies in their terms of service say that things can be sold or given to third parties. I mean, we've talked about Ring more than a few times
Yeah, we
here
have.
on
I mean,
the
they were
show.
first to market. It's kind of like Facebook, right? They're the big player, so of course everybody's kind of focusing on them.
I would
But-
recommend for people who want to get a home security system is to purchase your own self-contained server that goes in your house, and that's where all the data is saved and recorded. That's the best way.
Can you do that using Ring?
No.
Or just go and get yourself just a little, because there's a lot of them out there now, right?
Well, you can go get a little Synology disk station, go get a IP camera, plug
Yeah.
it in, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, once again, with convenience comes vulnerability, and it's convenient to have the Ring. There's no doubt that it does increase safety, security. There's no doubt there's been some really good documented cases now where Ring has picked up. In fact, we just had one out here in Langford, in British Columbia, where one of these doorbell ringers picked up a young man running from his car onto property and stealing a bunch of stuff and loading it in his car, and the police were able to put that out onto the news, and the guy got identified, right? So there's no doubt that there's some pluses to this. It's very convenient that way.
It's a matter of choosing which provider you think is the most safe and secure.
Yeah, and maybe getting people to read the terms of service and understand what's going on and where you're setting these things up. Like I've seen people taking the Ring camera and putting it into the home, right, to view what's going on in the home.
Yeah,
Like,
there's inside home-based solutions.
I don't know if I want to do that, right? Like, because again, we had a bunch of people who were cracking those things because of poor passwords.
Which
and-
was human error.
I know, but still, it's not really. You got to think that a lot of people who are buying this stuff do not have the depth of knowledge on some of these concerns that maybe you or I do or others that are watching do, right? So, I mean, these are types of things, and yeah, it says right on there if you purchase this and use it, you assume all liabilities to it. But I do
But most
think.
people don't care. I think it was the Washington Post.
Do they don't care, or is it that
Washington Post went
willful
out,
blindness?
Washington Post went out and did a survey of Ring homeowners.
Right.
And many of them said, yeah, we know about the issues, but we don't care.
Yeah, they don't care until it's too late. I mean, I look at what's going on in China right now with their facial recognition and all that. Like this week, I'm sure you saw it in the feeds now, where police departments are walking around basically with Google Glasses now, so that as they're talking to people, immediately goes into their database and they're able to identify people just who are walking around, right? It's like, that's kind of scary when you think about it, right? That's just me. That's just me.
Again, that's why we buy those
Boomer.
T-shirts. Those
Okay,
license
Boomer.
plates.
I know, that'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of
We
funny.
do have to do that.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Maybe in the summertime.
What else we got going?
Cass just said, what T-shirts? It was like a couple months ago, one of our shows.
one of our
we
shows.
highlighted
the license
someone
plates,
who
yeah.
had made these license plate. They kind of like block things, and then Candace is in my ear. Yeah, we talked about facial jewelry one time.
Yeah, and a little LED blinkers on it, right?
Yeah, and those glasses that
Glasses, same
flash
thing.
lights in you,
Yeah,
infrared lights.
For sure.
We should get all those and go outside and be anonymous.
And to see what happens.
Yeah, it's like you can't see me,
Yeah.
but we're there.
Yeah. What else we got going on? Latest.
People
what?
in the chat say we should go on the Ellen show.
The Ellen Show. That would be kind of fun.
That'd be
Hey, right
fun.
into Ellen Show.
Yeah.
Tell them who we are. Hey, big shout out to Ellen. We love what you do. Kind of cool. So, anyways, and so next time we got some. What are we talking about next segment here?
Let's talk about some cool tech projects.
Yeah, that youth and people are up to, right?
Yeah.
What's the first one you got here? Not so much youth.
No, but a really cool project Candace found online that she wanted to highlight here on the show, and rightfully so. I mean, here is a wheelchair developed by a company in India that allows someone to go from a sitting position and it helps them get into a standing position to basically do standing tasks.
I wonder if they did any testing about center of gravity on that thing. Because
I'm sure they have. I mean, look at it.
But when you look at that thing, if somebody comes up too fast and maybe are a little too top heavy, do you think maybe that chair may flip over?
I don't know. Look, there's a wheel in front of the person.
Yeah, but even though there's that wheel now, again, I'm just thinking back to teeter-totter physics and that kind of stuff. Like if a person had a bigger body and they come up really quickly, there may be a potential that sucker may flip over. I mean, I love the idea.
The chair like pop up quickly in videos I've seen.
It's cool though.
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, especially for people who are wheelchair bound, especially when you're going into places like I've been there where the service counters are up here.
Yeah.
Right, and you're down in a wheelchair and you can't see this one. You could go right up over the counter.
Basically, it allows you to go to a standing position.
And really, that's kind of a no tech fix, digital tech fix to issues some people who are wheelchair bound have.
Yeah,
kind of good idea. Kind of cool, but it would be interesting to see how much testing they did with center of gravity.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did a lot of testing.
But you know what? If Candace was in that thing, she would find a way to flip it over. Great. That's just what Candace.
Given the week she had, probably.
Yeah, she's just saying that. Well, they call me Hurricane Candace for a reason. That is true. That is true. What else we got going? Oh, I love this next story. I found this one. Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, two brothers created a stop-motion remake of Toy Story 3 using real toys and people. Actually, here's a small sample from.
Watch this. This is stop motion photography, real time.
So most of it is.
This isn't the actual movie. It's these two brothers who created a movie using stop motion photography. Like, look at this.
It won't rip! Oh, forget it. That's triple fly, high density polyethylene. There's gotta be a way out.
Cool. It actually looks like a Toy Story movie when you're watching it, right? The only thing, the mouths don't move like the Toy Story does, but I mean that's.
I can hear the garbage.
It took them a year to do this.
Apparently.
It's getting
Right?
closer.
And you can understand why, because if you're doing stop motion, it takes so long to do it, right? So, like, look at that. Look at that. Is that cool? Is that cool? I mean, that is so cool. I mean, another really good example how youth are using media to do some really cool things, right? And, you know, too many people believe that our kids are doing all this horrible, evil, ugly stuff online. They're not. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I think that's really cool. Big shout out to these. Look at that. You can see the strings on Woody. Look, see the strings? He's making Woody move by the strings.
They actually have a Facebook page for the project, Toy Story 3 IRL, kind of cool. So if you're interested, you can actually watch the entire Toy Story 3 movie in stop motion in this way, which is actually kind of cool.
Let's shout this out. The people who are watching us right now, let's push this. I mean, it's so cool. Let's get them and their followers right now. I think they're at 5,000 and plus people. Let's get them bumped up. Let's do the White Hatter bump. White Hatter bump, right? Right? The White Hatter bump.
Last topic today
what's this one about? This is interesting.
From the creators of the Netflix documentary, The Great Hack. Their latest project is virtual reality. And what they're doing is essentially they've created in the VR headset, they created this virtual sort of room. And what you do is there's all these objects in this room you can pick up, and it shows you all the history of the data on the hack. It kind of visual. I mean, it's all fictitious. It's all a fictional environment, but it's an interesting way of kind of showing how everyday objects have a lot of data built in it.
It's interesting to see how VR is starting to develop and starting to mature.
The prices dropped dramatically the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. I know there are some companies out there now offering, law enforcement is a good example, training within a VR environment to make it as real as they can. I mean, the problem with the old VR is it looked really blocky and chunky, and it looked like Minecraft, basically, right? But the new VR now can get pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Right? Can get pretty realistic. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, there was a lot of time and effort and money, the Mummy, the movie, we just watched that, that's why I said it. But there's been a lot of time and effort and money put into the industry when it first started, and then it kind of died out, right? Like
It was so expensive.
yeah, but now we're starting to see companies and groups like this starting to do some cool stuff with VR. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Strawberry Chan in the chat says, you guys should start a podcast.
You know, it's
I've been
interesting. What's the
thinking about-
what's the difference between a podcast and what we're doing right now?
A podcast is basically, it's all audio.
Yeah, it's kind of like a radio show, right?
But a podcast, because a podcast allows you to you can do things. So you see, the YouTube show, people usually have to watch. You don't have to watch. I try to make the show in a way you can listen. But a podcast, basically, you can basically hear. I was thinking about the other day.
Why not do it at the same time, where we're doing a podcast and a YouTube thing at the same time?
You can't, but the YouTube we have a lot, because the Toy Story thing we couldn't do.
Oh, right. So it would,
But I was thinking we could do a podcast where we just answer questions people send us. I was thinking like that. Yeah.
she's really excited.
Candace
Like Candace
is
in
in
our
here,
ears
yeah.
going, oh, I'm so down to doing this. Let me do it, Brandon. Please.
I was going to bring it up at the next staff meeting, but I was certainly thinking about a podcast idea because I had an idea. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Well, it'd be kind of interesting, right?
Nico Gaming says, I would make my class listen to it, LOL. Thank you.
The podcast?
Thank you. Interesting. People really, we got some support there for podcasts.
It's interesting, right? Like maybe that is something that we look at. I just thought that people were more visual. Like that's why I kind of like what we're doing right now, because it's both auditory, it's visual, so it captures both. But it's amazing how these podcasts are blowing up a little bit.
I
right?
have some ideas.
Yeah.
How we could do something
But
like
they
that.
wouldn't be able to see the cool lights. Like, look at those cool lights that we got going. The lights kind of blend in with my shirt. Hey, by the way, look at those guns. Look at those guns. Right. Where's the beach? It's over there.
Oh, man.
Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer.
Okay. Life of Potterhead says, I was looking, oh, look, they were looking at how to get us on the Ellen Show. And you have to have kids and your kids to do something cute on YouTube.
Well, Candace says and Brandon says I'm nothing more than a big kid. Huh? Right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Candace just says we don't claim him as an adult. Man. Yeah, that would work.
I like what Candace has done with the set this week, though, right? I mean, it looks much more YouTube-ish.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. Mark just says in the comment, hey, guys, first-time watcher. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining us on the YouTube show.
Where are you from? Where are you from, Mark? Mark?
I think I saw Mark reply to one of our Twitter posts.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
Thanks for joining us.
Where are you from? That would be nice to know. That would be nice to know. We love it when people join us on this, right?
Yeah.
Like we do. The whole goal of this show is to talk about things that have happened in the digital world, the on-life world, the week prior, right? Yeah. Like, and not just locally, but nationally, internationally. Yeah. Some things are coming out, like that wheelchair
Mark
from
says,
India.
they are Nerdy Tech on Twitter. Yeah, I think they just followed us, and they're here from Canada.
Oh, that's cool.
Fantastic.
That's cool.
Thanks for
Nerdy Tech.
I know, right?
Nerdy Tech. That's kind of cool.
Great name.
That's cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But that's why we love doing what it is that we're doing. You know, share as much information about what's going on. It's not all about the doom and gloom of technology. It's about some of the cool stuff and celebrating the cool. Still talking about some of the doom and gloom stuff because we all need to know about it, right? Yeah. But again, I mean, all celebrating what's going on out there. Like we should build that wheelchair and test it.
I think
wouldn't that be a good?
Buy it.
Oh, really? Maybe we should buy it.
It's the chair you buy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. By the way.
Oh, sorry. This is California, not Canada.
By the way, what time is it in LA?
Oh, boy. 1:29.
There you go. They should know. Hey, anybody else? Just before we sign off, is anybody else going to be watching the big game today?
Oh boy. I'm not. I sports. Neil.
No. Yeah.
I'm not a sports person.
So, but good show. It was a good show today.
Good show.
Yeah.
I like how we have these new lights.
Yeah.
Because I can go red. Oh, red. I can go green.
Oh.
Green.
Yeah.
I can go.
So, like the red we can do next week because it's like Valentine's Day.
14th,
So,
right?
so yeah. You don't know when Valentine's Day is? What about your partner? Oh God. So red for Valentine, green for St. Patrick's Day. That's a good one for St. Patty's Day.
We got
right, and then we'll go get
we got orange for like Halloween.
Orange for Halloween. What else? What else do we got? What else? What else? What else? What else? What? All right. Oh, logos. Yeah, I think the logo, the white hat logo. If you go to our Facebook page, right where our feather is, we change that with kind of special events and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what she's talking about?
Yeah.
She's whispering in my ear right now. I can't get her voice out of my head.
Nico Gaming says, my dad will be watching the game. I'll be playing soccer.
Oh, there you go.
You'll be playing soccer while you'll be playing the other football.
You know what's kind of funny about this? Boomers make fun of kids, youth, today's Generation Z, and how they can spend hours watching gaming online. Well, what's the difference, right? If a boomer is watching a football game compared to a Gen Z who's doing online, like what's the difference?
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there. So.
Anyways.
But thanks for tuning in. My name's Darren.
Brandon, and Candace is in the back. She's the one who is managing all of the comments and questions. Thank you everyone for joining us. And we'll be back next week on the 9th. Here on the show.
Same day, same bat channel. Okay. That's a boomer thing, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
See ya. Bye.